Hey Derek, this is Adrian Gomez. Just wanted to look really quick into your back leg. As you drive, you're into about 110 degrees, which is pretty good out of the back leg, but it could be even better. I could stay lower to the ground, and that way you're going to move your rate of movement is going to be a lot faster, just from staying down. Early on in your back leg, your knees over your ankle. And just right around here, it starts getting inside and you start pushing. So I'd like you to get that knee inside a little bit earlier. If you can get that knee inside earlier, you're going to be able to push for a longer period of time, which is also going to increase your distance with your front leg. And if you do that, the longer you push, the harder you're going to throw. And so getting into plant leg, measuring this leg should be about 110, and you could go probably another foot with your front foot if that back knee gets inside earlier. That way you can go a little bit further. The angle of your legs at plant foot is going to increase as well. So let's look at your so that needs to improve. It's pretty good, but it does need to improve. Let's look at your front knee. As you land, you're into 145 degrees, 139, and it's not bad. But I would like this knee to straighten up a little bit. I'd like to be 150 degrees if you can. So the straighter this front leg is, the faster your hips are going to rotate, the faster your chest is going to rotate. So it's, how fast can I speed up that front leg? How fast can I stop it? And then reroute the energy back into the baseball. So let's look at your front leg, and I'm trying to get, I don't have a view from the front, but this is what I want to get. Let's look at how far your knee has to move. Knee inside. So you do have some knee movement. The front knee moves a little bit. From this angle, your knee's blocked a little bit for me. But any kind of movement in that front knee is delaying the hip rotation into release point. So I want to stiffen up that leg quicker, have a higher angle, and then if you can get this front knee to retract, you're just going to have way more energy going over to the top. Looks pretty good, but it could be that much better with your front knee just not moving. So getting into ball release. Your ball, you're what we call a B posture. A posture, be straight up and down. B's off the side a little bit. C posture is really tilted far. So you're B posture. So when you come back into this, you're staying back pretty good. Your chest isn't going down, and so I don't want to get. So if you get into, there's not a huge head change, which is good. That's going to keep you rotating better around it. But you can watch this back foot, see how it comes off, and I'm not driving through with my hips. That hip drive is going to be increasingly important if we want to continue to have a long career in baseball. So you see where that leg comes off. You're taking energy out of the baseball when your knee comes up. So I want that back leg, and we worked on that last night, that back leg to stay straight into hip rotation. And then eventually that back leg is just going to pop up because your hip rotates that fast. So B posture, let's look at release point. Release point's kind of over your front foot, is a little bit beyond, but it has everything to do with this. 41 degrees, let's see here, about 41 degrees, and I like you to be 50 something, just a little bit further, but you're going to have to bring that front knee back and drive that chest forward. That's what I want. That big just a reciprocal action. Basically, the knee comes back, then the chest drives through, and one influences the other. Looking at your elbow doesn't make it pinched long enough, and so right here you went from pinched to drive, and I want you to drive longer with your hips and your chest so that you can throw more with your body and less with your arm. So better pinch, we're going to work on that. Elbow, as you drive through, elbows kind of elevated a little bit, about 6 degrees elevation in the elbow, so it's not too much, but I want to get better at that. Chest extension, let's look where your wrist is. As you're driving through, instead of driving through with your chest forward and keeping that wrist around that elbow, your hand flies outside of that elbow as you're driving. And I want to go through that ball as much as I can. It's just going to reduce that arm drag, reduce the tension in your elbow, and then you're going to be able to pronate. You pronate pretty well through that. That's pretty good pronation. And you're going to put all that stress into the back. So these are the things that I've seen. I just wanted to put it on video for you so you can see it yourself. And as every time you come, we're going to be working on those small things, and we will improve. And I really believe 4 years from now you're going to be one of the best players in the nation. So thanks for being a part of 212 Athlete.